Hello everyone. In this video, we will be talking about POLYAS problem solving strategies. But first, we need to understand the POLYAS step in solving problem. George Polya is the foremost recent mathematician to make a study of solving problem. So the basic problem solving that POLYAS advocated was consisted of the following 4 steps. What are those? First, to understand the problem. Second is to devise a plan or to translate. Third is to carry out the plan or to solve. Fourth and lastly, look back or to check and interpret. Now, we will be having one sample of each 9 problem strategies. Also, solve them using POLYAS step. We will start by using identifying sub-goal strategy. So here's the problem. One number is 7 more than another. Twice the larger number is equal to 4 times the smaller number decreased by 2. Find the numbers. Applying POLYAS step number 1, understand the problem. So we are looking for 2 numbers wherein one is 7 more than another, and twice the larger is equal to 4 times the smaller number decreased by 2. Identifying sub-goal strategy. We will be using the variable x to represent our unknown number. So we were going to use the variable x to represent our smaller number, and x, our small number, plus 7 is equal to our larger number. The equation will be the quantity x plus 7 times 2 is equal to 4x minus 2. So we will going to solve our equation. 2 times x will be 2x. 2 times 7 will be 14 is equal to 4x minus 2. So we will going to combine our similar terms. 2x minus 4x is equal to negative 2 minus 14. So 2x minus 4x will be negative 2 is equal to negative 2 minus 14 will be negative 16. And we're going to divide both sides by negative 2, and the answer that we will get will be x is equal to 8. So our unknown number, which is 8 plus 7, is equal to 15. Therefore, 15 is 7 more than 8. Twice 15 is 30, which is equal to 4 times 8 less 2. So now we will use making a table strategy to answer this certain problem. I started my bicycle shop and accessories business for a 5-year contract. For the first year, I made an income of 1,000 pesos. Every year, 500 pesos is added to my previous year. How much money could I make in all at the end of the contract? So to understand the problem, what is being asked here is that how much money could I make in all at the end of the contract? So we will use table strategy to illustrate and answer this specific question. So as you can see here, we have our table, 5 columns and 2 rows. In the first column, we have the 5 years, which is our contract, and in the second column is the income in every years of the contract. So it says here that in my 5-year contract, in the first year I have gained an income of 1,000 pesos, which is in here. For every year, 500 pesos is added to my previous year. So in the first year, we will add 500 pesos, and in the total of 1,500 pesos in my second year. And in my third year, 500 pesos is added again, so it will become 2,000 pesos. In the fourth year, I also gained 500 pesos to make it 2,500. And in the fifth or last year of the contract, I again gained 500 pesos to make it 3,000. So the question here is that how much money could I make in all? It doesn't ask how much money could I make at the 5th year of the contract. So we will add everything and get the total. So we have here 3,000, 2,500, 2,000, 1,500, and 1,000 in the total of 10,000. So therefore, the income I made in all at the end of my contract is 10,000 pesos. So that's it for our making a table strategy. I hope you learned something and I hope you like this video.
A baseball team won 2 out of their last 4 games. In how many different orders could they have 2 wins and 2 losses in 4 games? So applying the first step of POLYAS problem solving strategies, first, understand the problem. So, ano yung goal natin sa problem? To identify the orders kung saan meron dun dalawang panalo at talo yung baseball team. So, there are many different orders. The team may have won 2 straight games and lost the 2. So, it is win, win, loss, loss. Or maybe they lost the first 2 games and won the last 2, which is loss, loss, win, win. Of course, there are other possibilities such as win, loss, win, loss. So, we need to devise a plan. So, what appropriate strategy yung possible na gamitin natin in this kind of problem? So, we can use an organized list. So, these are the possible orders. So, pwede sa una at pangalawang laro nila ay nanalo sila. At sa pangatlong laro nila at pang-apat ay natalo sila. Pwede rin sa una, nanalo sila. Sa pangalawa, natalo sila. Sa pangatlo, nanalo sila. At sa huli, natalo sila. Pwede rin na sa una, nanalo sila. Sa pangalawa, natalo sila. Sa pangatlo, natalo sila. At sa huli, nanalo sila. Pwede rin sa una, natalo sila. Sa pangalawa at sa pangatlo, nanalo sila. At sa huli, natalo sila. Pwede rin sa una, natalo sila. Sa pangalawa, nanalo sila. Sa pangatlo, natalo sila. Sa pang-apat, nanalo sila. Pwede rin sa una at sa pangalawa ay natalo sila. Pero sa pangatlo at pang-apat ay nanalo sila. So, therefore, we gonna check our answers if it is correct. So, the list has no duplicates and the list considers all possibilities. There are 6 orders in which baseball team can exactly 2 out of 4 games. So wala nang ibang order. May naiisip pa ba kayong ibang order? Wala na. So, 6 orders are correct.
Eliminating possibilities is a problem-solving strategy in which students remove possible answer until the correct answer remains. Let's give an example to this strategy. In the game of football, a team can score either a touchdown for 6 points or field goal for 3 points. If a team only scores touchdowns or field goals but does not get any extra points, what scores cannot be achieved if the team is scored under 30 points? Let's try to solve the given example by using the POLYAS step. The first step is understand the problem. This involves identifying the key pieces of information needed to find the answer. This may require students to read the problem several times or put the problem into their own words. In this problem, students understand that there is a finite set of possible answers. Students will have to find all of the possible answers and then narrow down the list according to the criteria in the problem. The score can be 1 through 29. The score must be a multiple of 3 or 6. The second step is devise a plan. The strategy of eliminating possibilities can be used in situations where there is a set of possible answers and a set of criteria the answer must meet. The third step is carry out the plan, or in this step we are going to solve. First, List the numbers 1 through 29 because the problem states that the score was less than 30. Next, eliminate answers that are not possible solutions. Work through each criteria to find the solution. Any multiple of 6 would be a possible score of the game. If the team only scored touchdowns, they could score 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. Therefore, all multiples of 6 should be eliminated. Also, any multiples of 3 would be a possible score of the game. If a team scored only field goals, they could score 3, 6, 9, and so on. Therefore, all multiples of 3 should be eliminated. The answer to the problem is that the following scores could not be the score of the game. The last step is look back or to check and interpret. First is to read the problem again to be sure the question was answered. This explains the scores that will not be possible in this game are listed. The second one is to check the math to be sure it is correct. This explains to look through the answers you have eliminated and those that are remaining to make sure you have applied all the criteria in the problem. Lastly, is to determine if the best strategy was chosen for this problem or if there was another way to solve the problem. This says that eliminating possibilities was a good strategy to use for this problem.
Writing an equation and using a variable. An equation must have an equal symbol. If there is no equal, then it is not an equation. Here is an example using this strategy is used in practice. A hat and the jacket cost $100. The jacket costs $90 more than the hat. What are the costs of the hat and the cost of the jacket? So let's try to solve the given example by using the POLYAS step. Step 1. Understand the problem. After reading the problem for the first time, you may think that the jacket costs $90 and the hat costs $10. The sum of these costs is $100, but cost of the jacket is only $80 more than the cost of the hat. We need to find the $2 amounts that differ by $90 and the whole sum is $100. Step 2. Devise a plan. Write an equation using h for the cost of the hat and h plus 90 for the cost of the jacket. H plus h plus 90 is equal to 100. Step 3. Carry out the plan. 2h plus 90 is equal to 100, 2h is equal to 10, and h is equal to 5. Step 4. Review the solution. The sum of the cost is $5 plus $95 is equal to $100, and the cost of the jacket is $90 more than the cost of the hat.
Looking for a pattern strategy. In this strategy, which students look for patterns in the data in order to solve the problem. Students look for items or numbers that are repeated or a series of events that repeat. Let's give an example to this strategy. If you build a four-sided pyramid using basketballs and don't count the bottom as a side, how many balls will there be in a pyramid that has 6 layers? By using POLYAS step, we will try to solve the given problem. The first step is understand the problem. The first step to solving a problem is understanding it. Sometimes you can solve a problem just by recognizing a pattern, but more often you must extend the pattern to find the solution. Making a number table can help you see patterns more clearly. In this problem, students understand the top layer will have 1 basketball. I need to find how many balls there will be in each layer of a pyramid, from the first to the 6th. I need to find how many basketballs will be in the entire pyramid. The second step is devise a plan. To use this strategy successfully, you need to be sure the pattern will really continue. Have students give reasons why they think the pattern is predictable and not based on probability. Problems that are solved most easily by finding a pattern include those that ask students to extend a sequence of numbers or to make a prediction based on data. In this problem, students may also choose to make a table or draw a picture to organize and represent their thinking. The third step is carry out the plan. Start with the top layer or one basketball. Determine how many balls must be under the ball to make the next layer of a pyramid. Use manipulatives if needed. Students can use manipulatives of any kind, from coins to cubes to golf balls. Students can also draw pictures to help them solve the problem. Try to observe this table. If it helps to visualize the pyramid, use manipulatives to create the third layer. Record the number and look for a pattern. The second layer adds 3 basketballs and the next adds 5 basketballs. Each time you add a new layer, the number of basketballs needed to create that layer increases by 2. It is said that we should start the top layer, which is 1. It is also says that it increases by 2. So 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. Let's continue until 6 layers are recorded. Once a pattern is found, students may not need to use manipulatives. 9 plus 7 equals 16, 16 plus 9 equals 25, and 25 plus 11 equals 36. Then add the basketballs used to make all 6 layers, and the answer is 91 balls. The last step is look back, or to check and interpret. First is to read the problem again to be sure the question was answered. Yes, I found the total number of basketballs in the 6th layer of pyramid. Next is to check the math to be sure it is correct, and the answer is 91 balls. Lastly is to determine if the best strategy was chosen for this problem or if there was another way to solve the problem. Looking for a pattern was a good way to solve the problem because the pattern was predictable.
Martina got on a school bus at the stop after Martina's 4 students got on. 7 students got on at the bus after next stop. At the last stop before the school, 9 students got on. When the bus arrived at the school, 41 students got off. How many students were on the bus when Martina got on? So we need to know how many students were on the bus when Martina got on. So in this kind of problem, we're gonna use work backwards strategy. So in order for us to determine how many students were on the bus when Martina got on, we need to read the sentences backwards. So, when the bus arrived at the school, 41 students got off. Since 41 students ang bumaba sa bus, ang total number ng students sa loob ng bus ay 41. At the last stop before the school, 9 students got on. So, 41 minus 9, we need to subtract it. 7 students got on at the bus after next stop. At this stop, after Martina's 4 students got on. But we need to identify the number of students when Martina got on the bus, so we need to subtract Martina, and that is 1. So 41 minus 9 minus 7 minus 4 minus 1 is equal to 20. And for checking the solution, use calculator.
Guess and check strategy. The strategy for the method guess and check is to guess the solution and plug the guess back into the problem to see if you get the correct answer. If the answer is too big or too small, make another guess that will get you closer to the goal and continue guessing until you arrive the correct solution. The process might sound long, but often you will find patterns that can use to make better guesses along the way. Here is an example using this strategy is used in practice. Nadia takes a ribbon that is 48 inches long and cut it into 2 pieces. One piece is 3 times as long as the other. How long is each piece? So let's try to solve the given example by using the POLYAS step. Step 1. Understand. We need to find number that add up to 48. One number is 3 times the other number. Step 2. Strategy. We guess two random numbers, one 3 times bigger than the other, and find the sum. If the sum is too small, we guess larger numbers. If the sum is too large, we guess smaller number. Then we see if any patterns develop from our guesses. Step 3. Apply strategy or solve. Guess 5 and 15. 5 plus 15 is equal to 20. Sum is too small. Guess 6 and 18. 6 plus 18 is equal to 24. Sum is too small. Our second guess gives us a sum that is exactly half of 48. What if we double that guess? 12 plus 36 is equal to 48. So there's our answer. The pieces are 12 and 36 inches long. Step 4. Check. The pieces add up to 48 inches long. One piece is 3 times as long as the other. The answer checks out.
So here's for the final problem solving. The MPL Season 8 consists of 8 teams that play each of the other team exactly 3 times. How many league games will be played? To understand the problem, there are 8 teams in a league, and each team plays exactly 3 times against each other's teams. The problem is to determine the total number of league games that will be played. The strategy that we will use is the solving a similar but simpler problem, considered with only 4 teams. Hence, 4 teams can play a game in each other team once. We might conclude that it would result 4 times 3 equals 12 games. However, we have a representation here. The diagram shows only 6 line segments. It appears that our procedure has counted each game twice. For instance, Team A plays Team B. That was considered one game only. So to provide our correct result, since there are 4 teams multiplied by 3 equals 12, we should divide it by 2, knowing that game is duplicated and give us the answer of 6 games. Using the process developed above, we see that 8 teams can play each other once, in a total of 8 times 7 divided by 2 equals 28 games. Since each team plays each opponent exactly 3 times, the total number of games is 28 times 3 is equal to 84 league games. To check or interpret our result, we can make an organized list to see if our answer is correct. So consider that this is the 8 teams A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. In the first row we have 7 games. In the second row we have 6 games. In the third row we have 5 games. In the fourth row we have 4 games. In the fifth row we have 3 games. 2 games in the 6th row and 1 game in the 7th row. And if we are going to add this, its total is 28. And since the team plays exactly 3 times with each other, we will multiply it by 3. Therefore, 84 league games are played by the 8 teams of the Season 8 of MPL. So that's it for the 9 problem solving strategies and the POLYAS step in solving problem. Thank you for watching.